such a crucial skill to be developing for English fluency. If you can't understand what English speakers are saying, you will have issues communicating in English. So how can you improve your English listening skills? In this video lesson, we'll go through 7 tips, 7 ways you can improve your English listening skills. Friends, as you already know, listening and being able to understand other English speakers is so important for English fluency. Some of you may be struggling to follow this video lesson and to really use these tips and ways to better help you improve your listening skills. To help you follow and better understand this lesson, make sure to turn on subtitles. You can do that by clicking the CC button so that you don't miss any crucial information. Also, you can be a good friend and you can translate those subtitles to help other English learners out there watching this video so that they can better understand and improve their English listening skills. You can translate these subtitles to your own native language. Be a good friend and help others in need. As you already know, to be able to speak English fluently, to be able to communicate with other English speakers, you have to understand what they're saying to you. If you cannot understand what somebody is saying, you're going to have issues answering their questions or holding a conversation in English. Let's begin with those 7 tips you can use to improve your English listening skills. The first way you can improve your English listening skills is to be listening to English on a regular basis. You have to be listening to English used naturally, regularly and consistently so that you can constantly hear English speakers speaking in English and you can hear different words, phrases, grammatical structures being used. Friends, this step sounds really simple, but many English learners forget about this step. Maybe you are listening to English being used maybe once a week, or maybe even once a month. Friends, this is not enough. Try to make English a part of your daily life. All you need to be doing is listening to English being used naturally for about 10 to 15 minutes every day. There are many ways you can do this. You can do this by watching TV, while you're traveling to work, while you're running, while you're going for a walk. Make English a part of your life. If you listen to English being used naturally, regularly and also consistently, so we're only talking about 10 to 15 minutes every day, you will see results in the long term. It's not enough to be listening to English maybe once a month or every second month. You have to be using English in your everyday life. In the first tip, I shared with you the importance of listening to English being used naturally on a regular and consistent basis. Remember, we're only talking about 10 to 15 minutes of listening, regular and consistent listening every day. This takes us to our second tip. You have to find something, you have to find a resource to listen to. Many English learners struggle to find something to listen to in English to improve their English listening skills. Friends, thanks to the internet, there are many resources available to you which you can use to improve your English listening skills. Resources that you can use to improve your listening skills could be YouTube videos, movies, TV shows, songs, podcasts, and audiobooks. Friends, it's important for you to be listening to these resources only in English. Don't be listening to these resources in your native language, only use the English language. Remember friends, to improve your English listening skills, you only need to listen to these resources for about 10 to 15 minutes every day. Fantastic! In our second tip, you've learned many resources, those being YouTube videos, movies, songs, podcasts and audiobooks you can use to improve your English listening skills. But you're probably wondering, Adriana, in the first tip, you said I need to listen to English on a regular basis every single day for 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to be bored, I'm not going to be motivated, and I don't want to be frustrated and demotivated if I don't understand something in English. This takes us to our third tip. It's very important for you to improve your English listening skills, to find a resource, to find something that you truly like, that you love listening to in English. You need to find somebody talking about a topic in English that you love. Something that you can listen to that will keep you motivated to continue listening to them, to that in English on a regular basis. Friends, you don't want to be choosing a topic I like, your friend likes, your next door neighbor likes, your family likes. It's very important for you to find a topic you like. This ensures that you will be motivated and you'll be consistent. By choosing a topic you like, you'll be interested to learn about that topic and at the same time to improve your English listening skills. Let's go through 2 examples so that you can understand how you can find something you love. Let's have a look at student Bob. Bob's been studying English for a long time now, but he's really struggling to understand English speakers. He gets bored listening to old textbooks and listening to MP3 audios, but he loves cars. Bob's obsessed with cars and he loves anything to do with cars. What Bob could do is find somebody on YouTube talking about the latest models, about engines in English, so at the same time he's learning about cars, he's being motivated because of his interest, and he is consistently going back to that channel and learning about cars and improving his English at the same time. Another example could be Mary. Mary loves cooking. She loves cooking and she's always looking for new recipes out there. Mary's decided to watch a few cooking shows and to find a podcast in English talking about the latest recipes she can use. Friends, as we can see from Bob and Mary, both of them have used something they like to improve their English listening skills. They have found a topic that motivates them to be consistent, to consistently listen to English for 10 to 15 minutes every day. So at the same time, they are learning something about mechanics, cars, or about cooking and improving their English listening skills. Friends, find a topic that you like, that motivates you, that drives you, and listen to this topic on a regular basis. You will see results in the long term if you do remain consistent, and most importantly, find a topic that you love. The 4th tip also sounds very simple, but it is the most important tip out of all of them. Friends, you have to be positive. Be positive when listening to English, as you may feel demotivated, you may feel discouraged as you may not understand the different accents or words being used. This is normal, friends, when you start listening to English on a regular basis on different topics. Instead of being negative, instead of being pessimistic, try to be optimistic. When you are listening to something, pat yourself on the back, give yourself a reward and say, yes, I understood 20% of what they were talking about today. And in 2 days, if you can understand 30% of what they're saying, friends, you're already seeing improvements in your English listening skills. The more consistent and regular you are with your English listening practice, you will see improvements in your English listening skills and your ability to understand English speakers. Stay positive, even if you're having a bad day, be as positive as you can. It will be a little bit frustrating and you will feel demotivated. Think about those new words you learned. Think about the improvements you made from the day before and give yourself a pat on the back and reward yourself for being able to understand more than the day before. The 5th tip I have for you to improve your English listening skills is to listen to different accents. Don't listen to the same person all the time, as then you will only be able to understand that person. You want to be listening to different accents, to different people from different countries. Listen to people from Australia, New Zealand, UK, America, from different countries in the world. You can listen to people who are living in non-English speaking countries, but who speak in English as well. Friends, it's crucial for you to be listening to different people on a regular basis, as this will ensure that you are hearing different words. You will see how people express themselves differently in English, and this will also improve your communication skills. It will improve your communication skills as you will see how different people express themselves in the English language, and in turn you can also use this expression when speaking in English. Expose yourself to different people, different English speakers out there, and start improving your English listening skills. Fantastic! So you're going to be consistent in your English learning, you're going to listen to different accents, you're going to be positive. But friends, even when you are so positive, you may at times feel really down. You may feel down and demotivated because those new English speakers, they use different words than the last English speaker did. Friends, in these situations, I advise you to listen for context. What is listening for context? Friends, listening for context means that you are listening to everything the English speaker is saying. You're paying attention to the whole story, so to the whole sentence, and you're trying to understand what their message is. When we're listening for context, we are not translating word for word. If you start translating word for word, you will feel demotivated because there will be many words you may not understand. But if you listen to the whole sentence, you will notice that you'll be able to understand what in general that English speaker is trying to say. This takes us back to our fourth tip where you have to stay motivated. Don't demotivate yourself by translating word for word and looking at the new words that English speaker is using and saying, hey, I don't understand that word, my English listening skills suck. No, friends, listen for context. Try to understand, try to see what the English speaker is saying. Focus on the message rather than focusing on translating those words. The seventh and final way you can improve your English listening skills is to speak to people. Friends, English is a language. It's a language and it's a means of communication. Most likely you're learning English because you want to be able to get a better job, to move abroad, to study abroad, to pass IELTS, TOEFL, or to talk to other people in English. There's no better way to improve your English listening skills than to speak to other people. By speaking to other people in English, you will also hear different accents. By having conversations in English, you are of course listening to that English speaker, trying to understand what they are saying. And also, friends, you can practice speaking to other people and improving your pronunciation and your confidence at the same time. I recommend that you speak in English to other English speakers as much as possible, as this is the best way for you to see if your English listening skills have improved. Also, it provides us with great satisfaction when we're able to speak with other people in another language. Go out there, speak to other English speakers, and see the results of your practice and your hard work. There you have it, friends. 7 tips to help you improve your English listening skills. Use these tips, apply them on a regular basis, and you will see results. You will see improvements in your communication skills in English. Remember, friends, to be positive. Don't be pessimistic, be optimistic, and give yourself a pat on the back when you do see improvements. Friends, if you love this video lesson, I'm sure you'll love other video lessons here on my YouTube channel. Make sure to check out this video lesson here or this video lesson here for more tips to help you improve your English fluency. Make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so that you receive updates and notifications of the latest lessons I post here on my YouTube channel. Before we finish this video lesson, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments below this video which tip will you use to improve your listening skills. Looking forward to your comments. Thanks for being here and see you next time. Bye for now.